The MHSAA football finals are brought to you by Art Van Furniture. Everything you need for your home under one roof. Art Van is simply the best. By Sam Bernstein Law Firm, 1-800-CALL-SAM. And by Taco Bell. Satisfy your late night cravings at Taco Bell. At for the teens getting off the bus. Pardon my ignorance. Is Marine City? It's over there by Mount Clemens, over
on the water.
Huh?
On the water.
Yeah. East side.
High up. About an hour.
Yeah. Yeah. What? Redo the billboards. I screwed them up. The MHSAA football finals are brought to you by Art Van Furniture. Everything you need for your home under one roof. Art Van is simply the best. By the Sam Bernstein Law Firm, 1-800-CALL-SAM. And by Taco Bell. Satisfy your late night cravings at Taco Bell. The Marine City Mariners are back in the state championship game for the second time in 4 years, here to defend a perfect 13-0 record. While across the way from the west side of the state, the Zeeland West Ducks are also back in the championship game for the second time in 5 years. It's a battle of the unbeatens at Ford Field. The Marine City Mariners and the Zeeland West Ducks in the Division IV state championship game. Welcome inside Ford Field, everyone. Along with John Wangler, I'm Dan Dickerson. And John, we're going to see two similar teams tonight. These teams both run the wing tee. They both love to run the ball. They run the wing tee differently, and we'll talk about that during the telecast tonight. The guy who makes the Marine City offense go is Tony Scarselli, the coach's son. What a year he's had.
Well, Anthony is Mr. Everything, number 22. He's a 4-5 guy. He can run. He's got a good wiggle. He can make a guy miss. He's tough. He's a competitor. He catch the ball, run back kicks, defense. He's really the guts and glue of that team. And they go as far as he takes them.
It's a big night for both Anthony Scarselli and his dad, Tony, because Tony Scarselli, the head coach, has already said this is his last game as head coach.
We have a good relationship on the field. It's coaching and player, and off the field, you know, we went to them combines and one-day camps or something like that when the colleges were looking. That was a great opportunity to bond and work on those things together. You know, then you can. He's my son at those things, and tonight he's number 22 for Marine City.
For Marine City, this is a big night, but also for the Zeeland Ducks, John, back in the championship game for the second time in 5 years. Their biggest concern for head coach John Shillito coming into this year was the offensive line, because this is an offense that requires a good offensive line. He found a couple of guys to step up big this year.
Well, especially at left tackle. The first guy there, you have Cade Van Eyck, number 63, the big fella. He's stepped up huge and developed. He's a first-year starter as a senior. The tight end, Jason Cooper, number 41, another senior, first-year starter. Both of those guys solidified that offensive line.
Jake McKellar is the leader of that offensive line from the right guard position, and they've been opening holes all year long for the guys you're watching, Derek Postma and Kyle Kajawa. It is a running offense. The offensive line has been a key for them. We'll talk about some of the threats for these two teams. Two running teams that score a lot of points. We're getting ready for what could be a highly entertaining Division IV championship game between the Ducks from Zeeland West, the Mariners from Marine City. The opening kickoff is coming up next. Welcome inside Ford Field, everyone. Along with John Wangler, I'm Dan Dickerson, getting ready for a battle of the unbeatens. And John, these are two teams that love to run the football. They both run the wing T. They run it in different ways. Marine City, well, they've got a lot of threats, but it really starts with the coach's son, Anthony Scarselli.
He's Mr. Everything, Dan. 6'1", 195 pounds. He's 4'5". He's got a little wiggle. He can make a guy miss. He can run the ball. He can catch the ball. He's over 2,500 all-purpose yards. He's a great defensive player. They go as far as he goes. He's the guts and glue of that team.
It's a big night for Anthony Scarselli and his dad, Tony Scarselli, who's already said this is his last game as a varsity head coach. He says it's been a lot of fun coaching his son these last few years.
We have a good relationship on the field. It's coaching and player, and off the field. We went to them combines and one-day camps or something like that when the colleges were looking. That was a great opportunity to bond and work on those things together. Then you can. He's my son at those things, and tonight he's number 22 for Marine City.
If you're going to run the football, you need a good offensive line, and that was the concern for John Shillito, the head coach of the Zeeland West Ducks this year, John. Opening holes for a very talented group of backs, but he needed someone to step up, and he found a couple of seniors to do just that.
Well, number 63, Cade Van Eyck on the left side, the left tackle. He stepped up, really solidified that left side, as well as number 41, Jason Cooper. Their development as first-year starters, senior first-year starters, has really put that offense on track.
Jake McKellar is the leader of that offensive line from the right guard position. They've been opening holes for Derek Postma and Kyle Kajawa all year long. Two running offenses that score a lot of points. Two championship-tested teams going head-to-head. It's the Division IV Finals, two unbeatens, and we've got the opening kickoff when we come back. The Marine City Mariners are back in the state championship game for the second time in 4 years, protecting a perfect 13-0 record. The Zeeland West Ducks, also perfect at 13-0, are back in the championship game for the second time in 5 years. It's a battle of the unbeatens in the Division IV championship game between the Marine City Mariners and the Ducks of Zeeland West. Welcome inside Ford Field, everyone. Along with John Wangler, I'm Dan Dickerson. John, we're going to see a couple of running football teams tonight. They run the wing T. They run it in different ways. Marine City, they've got a lot of threats, but the threat that is biggest of all is the coach's son, Anthony Scarselli. He's been tough to stop this year. Well,
number 22 is a 190-pound, 6-foot stick of dynamite. He can do everything. He can run the ball. He can catch the ball. He's a 2,500-plus total offense guy. He returns kicks, returns punts, plays defense. As he goes, so goes their team. He's really the guts and glue of that offense.
This is a big night for Anthony Scarselli and his dad, Tony Scarselli, because Tony Scarselli has said this is his last game as a varsity head coach. And he says it's been a lot of fun coaching his son these last 4 years.
We have a good relationship on the field. It's coaching and player, and off the field. We went to them combines and one-day camps or something like that when the colleges were looking. That was a great opportunity to bond and work on those things together. Then you can. He's my son at those things, and tonight he's number 22 for Marine City.
John, if you want to run the football, you have to have an offensive line. And the big concern for the Zeeland West head coach, John Shillito, was replacing some very important guys off his line last year. They need to open holes for a very talented backfield. And he found two guys who open holes all year long on that left side.
Well, big number 63, Cade Van Eyck, a first-year senior starter, has really developed and solidified that left side, as well as tight end number 41, Jason Cooper. Their development as first-year senior starters has really made that offense go.
Jake McKellar on the right side is the leader of that offensive line. They've been opening holes all year for the guys you're watching, Derek Postma and Kyle Kajawa. Two running football teams. They're explosive. They score a lot of points. We're looking forward to this one. It's two championship-tested teams, two unbeaten teams. The Division IV championship game kickoff is coming up when we come back. The MHSAA football finals are brought to you by Art Van Furniture. Everything you need for your home under one roof. Art Van is simply the best. By the Sam Bernstein Law Firm, 1-800-CALL-SAM. And by Taco Bell. Satisfy your late night cravings at Taco Bell. Inside Ford Field, we get ready for the Division IV state championship game. We look at the head coach of the Marine City Mariners, Tony Scarselli, coaching his last game as a varsity head coach. He said, I might coach at some of the lower levels, but he decided a long time ago when his son Anthony graduated, he would leave with him. And what a record he is leaving behind. 7 years, and you saw that sterling mark. His teams have won at least 10 games every year. Across the way on the other sidelines, John Shillito has built a program at Zeeland West High School, which is a new high school in the Zeeland area. 7th year, the only coach they have known, 28 years as a head coach overall. They won the state championship in the 2nd year of the school's existence in 2006. Zeeland West won the toss. They deferred, so they will kick off. Marine City will receive. Zach Dreyer, the 6'7" senior kicker, boots it, and he boots it deep. Right down to the 5-yard line. A lot of deception on this return, but the Zeeland Ducks are ready for it. Anthony Scarselli is into the open field, across the 40, into Ducks territory. Most teams do not kick to the Mariners because of their deceptive return and explosiveness. And sure enough, the Ducks are made to pay when they kick to Scarselli, who returns it 52 yards.
Well, they call that starburst. The last guy they wanted to see come out with the football was Anthony Scarselli. Great play to start the game. As you can see, he was able to get that handoff, and the wall was set up there on the left side. He took it right down the sideline, give him great field position to start this game.
Two running football teams. The give is up the middle and a big gain on first down. Jamie Salisbury, if you key too much on Scarselli, Salisbury, John, will burn you from that fullback spot.
Well, he's done a great job. He's almost had 1,000 yards. They just hit that inside trap there to Salisbury. It'll make you pay.
Adam Kroll is the quarterback. He is a senior. Strong leader on this team. This is a talented, athletic young man. And his twin brother is on the defensive line for Marine City, Alex Kroll. Adam hands off to Scarselli, and the Ducks defense on 2nd and 1 is there to stuff him for no gain, setting up 3rd and short. Third and 1. Give up the middle, and the Ducks are there. Jordan Van Dort and Jake McKellar stuffed the run, a loss of 2.
That was just an isolation with a lead back. Here it is. They were not fooled at all. That fullback was not able to pick it up. They got great penetration. Big stop there for Zeeland.
Adam Kroll gets the play from the sideline. Look at Van Dort and the size on him. He's not just a big guy, John. He is a very athletic player. On both sides of the ball, looking to throw. Kroll fakes, goes deep, has a man caught. Touchdown, Gunnar Glodich. 41-yard strike.
Well, they got what they wanted out there, Dan. There was an isolation. Real simple. As you look here on the field, just an out and up, okay? One of the great plays, that corner bit on the out, a little anxious, laid the ball in there perfectly. Big play, tremendous completion. Crow pumped, they bit, laid it right out there.
For as much as the Mariners run the ball, they will throw. Adam Kroll, as we just saw, has a good arm. He's a catcher on the baseball team. And he threw for almost 900 yards this year. The extra point is up, a little wobbly, but through. Gunnar Glodich gets behind the secondary in a perfect throw from Adam Kroll. And a team that loves to run the ball with a 41-yard TD strike through the air. Please note that this Fox Sports Detroit Plus telecast is available in high definition on many systems, including those listed here. For a complete listing, click the channel finder at foxsportsdetroit.com. Boy, John, the Zeeland West Ducks, an emotional lift with 2 run-stuffing plays on defense, and then on 4th down through the air, get beaten by the Mariners.
Great call. Well, you know, the guy who called that was the offensive coordinator, Ron Glodich, and that was his son making a great move on the out and up. And Adam Kroll really set that up with his pump fake.
Ron Glodich will be taking over as head coach when Tony Scarcelli retires from varsity football after this year. Brad Messbergen gets the kickoff. He's into the open field. One man to beat. Inside the 40. Can they catch him from behind? No, he goes all the way. Brad Messbergen, 97 yards.
Wow. Here it is. Watch what he does. Follow his path right there. Nice cut there at the end by Messenberger.
New state finals record, 97-yard return.
What really hurt Marine City was nobody came through the wedge, and that's they were able to line that up.
They go for 2 and they get it. Kyle Kujawa on the carry. And the Ducks, after giving up a 41-yard touchdown pass, answer with a 97-yard kickoff return and then take the lead. Brad Messbergen with a state record 97-yard return. Zeeland West Ducks by 1. 2 minutes in, 2 touchdowns, 2 big plays. Zeeland West with the 8-7 lead. John, here's the 2-point conversion after the big kickoff return.
Just a little counter there with Kajala coming off of that dead tee. Simple, basic football, nice execution, and you talk about a momentum changer, Dan.
Oh my goodness. We thought it had been a deflator because the Ducks had come up big on 2nd and 3rd downs defensively, then gave up the big touchdown on 4th down. Well, they come right back with the kickoff return. Brad Messbergen, 97 yards, a new state finals record. And then Kyle Kujawa. You got 2,000-yard rushers on the Zeeland West team.
Well, the 2 key plays of this first quarter, right, have been kickoff returns.
Looked like Messbergen might get caught from behind. Jake Bogdanovic was giving chase, and he just outran him to the end zone. There's a good look at the kicker, Zach Dreyer. He's 6'7", soccer player. Probably will play basketball in college, and as you can see, big leg, automatic touchback. And these Ducks fans are fired up right below us. Marine City will go back on offense. Adam Kroll, the quarterback as we said, he's got a strong arm. This is his first year as a starter. He's a senior. He is a leader on this offense, and his head coach, Tony Scarselli, says very impressed with how the other kids listen to him. Not always easy as a first-year starter. He's a strong runner, tough arm. He's run for over 280 yards this year. Another baseball player. He's a catcher, and as we mentioned, his twin brother Alex is on the defensive line, and they apparently love to challenge each other in practice. There's an open hole on the left side, and breaking out over the 35 is Anthony Scarselli. Good luck trying to hold this guy down. John, you said it in the open. He makes the offense go with that 4.5 speed.
Real simple, just an off-tackle play. Watch Scarselli's cut in there. Look at, he bursts through. He's one leg away from breaking that everything. I'll tell you, he's a threat to go all the way every time. Makes a nice shallow cut, gets up in the lane there, and you got to account for Anthony, because I'll tell you, he can go.
One ankle tackle away from maybe taking it the distance. Scarselli's going to get it again, and he steps out of a tackle. And after gaining 19 yards on the previous play, he gets right near the first down marker before Jake McKellar brings him down. Look at some of the other threats. Jamie Salisbury, the fullback, again closing in on 1,000 yards. Not a lot of receiving threats. Dylan Ferguson is the biggest. And again, that offensive line for Marine City. Anthony Albo and Jacob Grasso are the leaders on that offensive line. Josh Biskner is a tight end who's done a terrific job. Flip right side is to Gunnar Glodich, who caught the touchdown pass, and the Ducks are all over it. Brad Messbergen, who had the 97-yard touchdown return on the kickoff, stops him in his tracks along with Derek Postma. They do give him a gain of 4.
That was just a little hitch screen out there, Dan. Get him the ball. They're playing a little soft on the corners. They wanted to see if you can make something happen after a quick catch. A good, solid, safe football play.
And look at the Zeeland Ducks defense, allowing just 13 points a game. Marcus Lambert is going to be one of the big players defensively, one of the linebackers, the keeper, Adam Kroll. Gain of 5 for Kroll, and that puts him just a yard away. 3rd and 1 now as Kroll goes over to get this third down play from the sidelines. 3rd and 1. Ducks run defense has been good early on in this game. Can they come up with a big stop here, leading 8-7 early? 2 tight ends to the right side. The gives. Right side, good blocking. Jamie Salisbury following his blockers. 4 yards and a first down. Braden Worley up to make the stop for the Ducks.
Basic football there, picking up that first down. Just an isolation play off the right side. They split a guy wide, had a wing, and came right in there. Nice job. They widened their splits that time. They knew they had to pick up the first down, and it worked.
First down for the Mariners. Scarselli gets it, picking his way to the left side of the line. He's got another good gain on first down. Anthony Scarselli averages 10 yards a carry. Well, John, one of the big holes defensively for the Ducks is that young man right there, Josh Blanton. He's not going to be playing in this game tonight. All-Stater the last 2 years, suffered an injury at the very end of the semifinal win over Comstock Park, and it was a devastating blow to the Ducks defense. He's really the heart and soul of that defense. Give up the middle and a little bit of running room for Jamie Salisbury. Jake McKellar, who's one of those key inside backers to replace Josh Blanton, steps in. One of the things you're seeing with Marine City is multiple formations. That's the big difference. They run very similar running plays, but they run them out of different formations. When you look at the other side of Zeeland, they're always in the same formation. These guys want to split you out and confuse you. Toss right side. Scarselli hit just as he crossed the 30, and he will be short. Brad Messbergen, the safety, up with a big hit to stop him shy of the first down. Well, that's a good hit by Messbergen, because Scarselli had a head of steam running that corner.
Yes, he did. He lowered his shoulders, took on that blow. Messbergen came right up there and smacked him. Good football play on both sides.
Crowds on both sides on their feet. Whistle blows before the play. Did we have movement? Let's see. Timeout. Interesting. John, that timeout came literally a split second before the snap.
Well, Tony or Coach Klodich obviously saw something they didn't like, and they wanted to catch that. A very crucial drive coming in here to score. They wanted to make sure they got it right.
Well, John Shillito knows that he's lost a big player in Josh Blanton. But he told his kids, we just need more guys to play well, because you can't replace Josh Blanton, a player of his caliber, in just 1 week.
You know, it'll be a challenge for us to, and it's tough to replace a guy like Josh. He's a great leader for us, been a great leader for 3 years, leading tackler in our defense all 3 years. But we have guys ready to step up and do the job. I think we'll be all right.
Always a tough thing for a coach, isn't it, John? You don't want to dwell on the fact that one of your star players is out, and yet you have to recognize the fact that one of your star players is out and he's going to be missed.
Well, my favorite coach, Bo Schembechler, always used to say, he said, one man goes down, another one steps up. And when you have a program like Zeeland West, you have guys waiting in the wings, and a lot of them just need an opportunity. You're never going to replace Josh, but you're going to give another guy an opportunity to make his mark.
So 4th and 1, the timeout called by Marine City, trailing by a point midway through the first quarter. Ducks' run defense has been tough early. Full house backfield. Shillito hit shy of the first down, fights forward, and it's going to be very close. Right now, where they're marking it, John, I think he's short. Jake McKellar leading the charge again, along with Drew Lopez and Kyle Kajawa.
Well, from this vantage point, it looks like he's a little short. Just an isolation play. They got good push. Anthony's fighting for that first down, but doesn't look like he got it.
You talk about guys stepping up. It looked like Kyle Kajawa, who stepped into that hole to stop the very talented Anthony Scarcelli, shy of the first down, and the Ducks take over on downs. Look now at the road to the finals. Zeeland Ducks getting here, averaging 44 points a game. Beat Comstock Park in the semis 30-6. Marine City, as the give is up the middle, a short game, has scored a lot of points in their playoff games. 45, 55, and 45, a tough win, 15-7 over Detroit Crockett. Let's take a look at the starting quarterback, Clay Coatney, running this wing T. First-year starter. He's a junior. He was on JV last year. He's a playmaker. According to his head coach, John Shillito, makes good decisions. Another talented baseball player. That's really his passion. We called him feisty as well. Said sometimes in the classroom you don't know whether to hug him or to hit him. But Clay Coatney has been very impressed. He said, I need a mechanic to run this offense, and Clay Coatney has done that in his first year as a starter.
Well, he does. Coach Shillito is really the godfather of this too tight T offense in the state. Everyone kind of watched him over the years and tried to emulate that. He's got a guy who can pull the trigger in Clay Coatney, runs it to perfection. Valley have the offensive line they need. It's no surprise they're as effective as they are offensively with that guy pulling the trigger.
Postma was stopped on second down, bringing up 3rd and long. Keeping it is Coatney on the bootleg, kept it on his hip, and he is going to come up just shy as Gunnar Glodich stopped him shy of the first down after a gain of 6. It'll bring up 4th and 1.
That's the great thing about that offense, is if you got a magician with the ball there, he put it on his hip there, Coatney, and came around, and it took him at least a few seconds to figure out who had the football, and did a nice job, able to run and come down and put him in a position there for a 4th and 1. It's amazing. These guys don't punt. These guys don't punt, either coach.
How about this, going forward on 4th and 1. Coatney give right side to Kyle Kajawa, and he's got the first down. Going forward on 4th and 1 from inside their own 40, and they get it.
Well, that's confidence, right? That's confidence in that offensive line. Really, it was basically a straight ahead power football coming off that right side. Their strength, following the big fellas up there, and Kajawa picking up a big first down.
first real possession for Zeeland. They scored on a kickoff return. Now Courtney going downfield has a man, and it's just out of the reach of Derek Postma. 1,000-yard rusher and a receiving threat as well. John, these are two offenses that we talked about. Run the wing T as we look at this replay.
Fake. Watch this fake in here. Watch him ride it, okay, and then pull the ball out. All they did here was a little flag route, had the guy open. You know they'll be coming back to that one again.
Two wing T offenses, John, but they're very different, aren't they, in how they're run?
Oh, yeah. Well, Marine City is a multiple set team, right? You'll see the same formation for Zeeland down there every play.
Give left side and nowhere to go for Derek Postma. We take a look at the rest of the Zeeland West starters. Backs and receivers, and again, an offense that's not going to throw the ball a whole lot. Kajawa over 1,000 yards. Postma over 1,000 yards. Van Dort is the big threat receiving if they want to throw the ball. Offensive line that we talked about, those two key guys, Jason Cooper, Cade Van Eyck. Cade Van Eyck, the left tackle, and Cooper, the tight end, have really solidified an area of need on the left side. Lopez, the senior center, and Messbergen, the left guard, are both two-year starters. Courtney keeping it on 3rd and long. No running room at all. Aaron Lokensaw, Jared Headley on the stop and a loss of 2.
Courtney, again, doing a good job faking. You're seeing darn near 2 ball fakes every time they go back. That time he tried to keep it. Good penetration, forced him to cut up inside right into the pursuit.
Man, this time on 4th and 13, they will punt it away. Derek Postma, the star running back, is also the punter, and he averages 35 yards a punt. Anthony Scarcelli and Aaron Lokensaw deep. You wonder if he'll even punt the ball to either one or whether he'll try to angle it away. He does punt it. Good punt with hang time, forcing the fair catch by Scarcelli. So good job by Derek Postma.
Yeah, nice job.
35-yard punt, right on his season average. So the Mariners get the ball back, trailing by a single point. As we take you to Marine City from Ford Field, the Google Earth snapshot as we take you up and right back down. Marine City, north and east of downtown Detroit. And the view from above of Marine City. Quick toss. That's a lateral. And now they're going to go downfield, and Scarcelli is open. One man to beat, and tripped up just inside the 20. Brad Messbergen with a touchdown-saving tackle. Lokensaw with the throw as Scarcelli got behind the secondary.
The old double pass. The one thing they do with Anthony, they move him around. You have to account for him on the football field. That time, they went with a double pass. As you can see, we throw it out to here, and then they're coming right down the center of the formation there.
That's a good throw from Aaron Lokensaw.
Great throw. Great game-saving tackle.
Boy, Brad Messbergen is doing a lot of things well early for the Ducks. Saves 6 points right there. See if the defense can take advantage. Give up the middle. Loose ball on the ground. And there it is. There is a big turnover. So Messbergen makes the touchdown-saving tackle. On the next play, Drew Lopez recovers the fumble.
Big Drew Lopez. Great fortuitous play falling on that football. It looks like there was a little mix-up on the handoff here.
Yep.
What happened, Crow gave it to him high, hit him up on the shoulder pads. He wasn't ready for it. You can see he hit him way up here.
So the Ducks get it back with the lead at their own 20. Courtney loses the ball, gets it back, has running room, gets a block down the far sideline before he's tackled at the 34. Boy, there's something in the air today. We've seen a lot of bungled exchanges and fumbled snaps.
Yeah. Well, look at these kids. I mean, there's a lot of nerves, a lot of pressure out there. And, you know, it's a different animal when you come inside. You're playing for a state championship like this.
Look at the defensive line for the Marine City Mariners. Defense allowing 15 points a game. Linebacking core, Russell, Burns, and Glodich. Bogdanovic in that secondary. Up the middle give. Absolutely nothing there as the Mariners swarm and stop Marcus Lambert for no gain. Marcus Lambert, another guy to keep an eye on. He's gained over 500 yards this year running in that wing tee, and he had 180 yards in a playoff game.
That trap play they just stopped, right, and the off-tackle play are the two keys to shutting down this Zeeland offense. If you stop those two plays, they're going to be very successful today.
So far, they have not had a whole lot of success moving the ball with any consistency against the Mariners. Now, pretty good running room left side that time for Derek Postma. Just over 1,000 yards coming into this game, and so is Kyle Kajawa. 6-yard gain, setting up 3rd and 5. And that will be the last play of the first quarter. Game started with a bang. 2 touchdowns in the first 2 minutes. And it's going to end just that way with those 2 touchdowns as the defenses have started to come up with big plays. Record-breaking 97-yard touchdown run on a kickoff after this 41-yard touchdown pass, and the 2-yard conversion gives the Ducks the lead through 1. 8-7 Zeeland West after 1 quarter of play in the Division IV championship game. It's a time for our school profile on Marine City, presented by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm. We showed you where it was, about 50 miles northeast of Detroit on the St. Clair River, so residents look across the river and see Canada on the other side. It's an old school with a new field. The school was built 50 years ago, but added a pool and a classroom in '75, and then major additions in 2001 and 2002. Americans called the community early Yankee Point originally because so many settlers came from the northern tier of states, with late 18th and 19th century migration originating from New England. Let's head down right now to the sidelines. Shannon Hogan standing by.
I'll tell you what, Dan, the football players in Marine City are like local celebrities. They even had a police escort out of town today. I'm here with Sergeant Jim Heslop, who's actually also the freshman football coach. Describe the scene for me downtown.
It was absolutely unbelievable. We took the team right from the high school right through downtown, and we got downtown. The people that were lining the streets it was awesome, amazing. Banners, flyers, you name it, all the way out through town, all the way out 26 Mile Road. We almost got here. We saw people.
And it looks like everybody pretty much followed you, because Ithaca had the largest fan section, you guys, before this game, and I think Marine City definitely has them beat. I'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Shannon. Movement on the line. It was movement on the offensive line for the Ducks.
Smart play there by Zeeland, going with the hard count, long count, trying to draw them off sides. Wow, one of their guys jumped.
Yep. You saw the defensive man jump, but you could see the defense clap as well. So now setting up 3rd and 10. Ducks do not throw the ball as much as the Mariners do. Coatney again was 600 yards passing. Incredibly, with just 53 attempts, he did throw 10 touchdown passes.
Coach Shilto said he's a solid thrower.
See if they put it up here. He will, and he's got a big target. That's Van Dort into the open field, running over Mariners before he's brought down by Jack Bogdanovic.
Great call. Great call to the tight end. Just a little outside release.
You try to bring this guy down.
A little fake to freeze the linebackers. He's going to fake the ball and then just release right here. Fake right in there. Boom. Rumbling, stumbling, bumbling. The big fella picking up a huge first down.
Give right side and bowling over tacklers. Kyle Kajawa gets inside the 35 and right at the first down marker before Anthony Scarcelli, who is the only two-way player for the Mariners, brings him down.
Kajawa doing a nice job with body lean, keeping his shoulders flat, always going forward, getting that extra yard. He's alone once he crossed that line of scrimmage.
Zeeland West has a lot of two-way players. Mariners of Marine City have just the one in Anthony Scarselli. Running left side and finding little in the way of running room. Postma. And he was stopped shy of the first down.
Yeah, that may be something that we keep an eye on as the game goes on, right? Because the amount of two-way players that Zeeland has, obviously they've been playing outside for the last couple of months, and they come inside in the dome where it's 70. It's not 35 or 40 and cool. There may be may have an effect on this football game.
8 two-way players versus 1. That's definitely something to keep an eye on. John Shillito very aware of it. 3rd and short. Courtney gives right side and rumbling on that right side for the first down. A gain of 5. Kyle Kujawa, good blocking up front. McKellar and Lopez on that right side, along with the brother of Josh Blanton, Nathaniel Blanton. Inside the 30-yard line. The Ducks of Zeeland West with the lead and trying to add to it here in the second quarter. Keeping it on his hit. Courtney down the right sideline. Puts his head down and gets it right near the first down marker. Scarselli brings him down, but not before a gain of 9.
Well, that's the danger of that offense. You keep running that off tackle or that dive, and then he puts it on his hip there. And Courtney does a nice job. He's a nice fake, rides him in, and then hides it on his hip, coming around. That's great ball handling, good football.
Boy, he kept it in the gut of Kujawa for a long time, didn't he?
Yeah, he rides him in there, and when your safety is coming up making all these plays, that's an issue.
2nd and short. Kujawa, right side, knocked to the ground. Nope, that's John Pung with the first carry of the game. Junior running back gains 5 on first down, and that's enough for the first down. Or gains 5 on second down for the first down. 15-yard line, and the Ducks relentlessly moving the ball down the field. State champions in 2006. The Mariners state champions in 2007. Neither team has lost a game. Same formation every down. Lots of different plays run out of this formation. The give is to Postma, and he is stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Alex Kroll and J.J. Russell lead the charge defensively for Marine City.
One thing about Marine City's defense, Dan, they're very, very quick. They would rather sacrifice size on the defensive side for quickness. And so they're great team speed, great pursuit. They react very, very well.
2nd and 10 for the Ducks. Right side, spinning out of one tackle, but can't keep his feet. It's Kyle Kujawa. And again, we see Anthony Scarselli very busy in that defensive backfield coming up to make the play.
Just the best play that they run is that off tackle with Kujawa. They keep pounding that side, that right side. They keep going back to it. That's their strong side. They got their best back coming off tackle. And pretty soon when they come up on that, he's going to pull it and keep it and go around again.
3rd and 7. Will they put it up in the air again? Man in motion is Postma. They're going to roll. Courtney looking for Postma. Got him open, and he just missed him in the end zone. He got away, some separation from the defense, but the throw just out of his reach.
What they tried to do on that one, they put a guy in motion, and they tried to flood. They tried to flood the field there, okay? They got the motion guy. He got caught up, though, so they weren't able to flood. It ended up being a one-man route. Guy got knocked down. He was still wide open. I know he wishes he had that one back again.
So 4th down. Zach Dreyer is the kicker for Zeeland, but he only has 1 field goal all year. So the Ducks will go for it.
Watch that tight end. Watch that pop pass to the tight end.
Looking for him, wasn't there. In trouble. Courtney now lobs it into the end zone. The jump ball, and the ball is knocked away. Jake Badanovic.
They tried to come back to that one, Dan.
Badanovic was there, and he knocked it away. Looking for Jordan Van Dort, the 6'5", 275-pound sophomore
inside
tight end.
fake. The good coverage. Van Dort couldn't get open. He threw it up a jump ball. Nice job defensively. There's 3 guys there. Almost picked off there by Anthony.
3 guys to cover 1 man, and they did the job. So the Mariners take over deep in their own territory. Up the middle, absolutely nothing there. This Ducks run defense has been tough. Jamie Salisbury, the fullback, gets the carry and gets nothing on first down. Big bang to start this game. 2 TDs in the first 2 minutes and 8 seconds, and no scoring since. Zeeland West holding on to the 1-point lead.
Well, you know, both those touchdowns were set up by kick returns, right? These defenses have both played very well so far this first half.
On the keeper, Adam Kroll is going to be hauled down in the backfield by Derek Postma. One of the 8 two-way players, the running back with 1,000 yards, a terrific linebacker as well.
You talk about the team speed for Marine City. You watch the pursuit that Zeeland has here. They got guys flying around, getting to the football. Very quick, very agile, team speed, great penetration.
Loss of 6 on the play. 3rd and 16 from their own 6. Mariners have been willing to put the ball up in the air. They've had some big pass plays early, but you certainly wouldn't think so right here. Last check of the play by Adam Kroll, the senior quarterback.
He's looking for that 3rd and 16 play they got in the pocketbook.
They are going to throw. Throw back left side. Scarcelli wrapped up a fine open field tackle by Marcus Lambert. A gain of 8, but well short of the first down.
Lambert did a great job on that screen. They tried to set it up here and throw back. Lambert was not fooled in the least. Watch him come up and make a play on Anthony Scarcelli.
Got a hold of his jersey and then wrapped up those legs.
Great read.
And Lambert is the outside linebacker who has moved inside to take Josh Blanton's spot. Clayton Press is the punter, and he gets it out to midfield to Messbergen. Messbergen has running room. Flag flies, so this is coming back. Illegal block on the return, and this will back up the Ducks back into their own territory instead of first down at the 32-yard line of the Mariners.
Got a block in the back on the receiving team.
38-yard punt, 21-yard return, and there is.
There it is, right there on your screen. Right there.
Looked like, was that Scarcelli up to make the play? He was flying, I know that. Forcing the block in the back. So it backs it up inside the 45-yard line of the Zeeland West Ducks. (8-7) lead. Midway through the second quarter of the Division IV state championship game, 2 unbeatens. Ducks moved the ball on their last drive. A lot of misdirection, but the give was up the middle and nothing there for Brad Messbergen. We talked about the 2,000-yard runners, Postma and Kajawa. Messbergen, who had the kickoff return, gained 850 yards this year. He's going to split time in the backfield with Marcus Lambert tonight.
That was just an inside trap with some counter action in the backfield. When you're in that dead tee, there's so many options, and you can put stress points on every hole across the line. That time, simple but very effective.
Coatney under center. Give right side to Kajawa. Kajawa's in the open field. One man to beat. Coming up and trying to bring him down. Can't do it. And into the end zone. Kyle Kajawa breaks 2 tackles and adds to the Ducks lead. What a run.
Great individual effort.
Glodich couldn't bring him down, and then Alex Kroll had his shot.
Watch Kujala following his blockers, makes a nice cut, then gets to the outside, will not be denied. One guy to stop, he bullies his way through, gets into the end zone. Huge effort, huge effort.
Jordan Van Dort, well behind the play, is injured and down on the field right at midfield. What a run and determination by Kyle Kujawa. As we look at Jordan Van Dort, the sophomore tight end, down on the field at midfield. John Shillito, the head coach for the Ducks, says this is a unique talent. 6'5", 275-pound sophomore tight end. And they're working on him right now. Touchdown run for the Ducks. We'll come back after these words. Jordan Van Dort making his way off the field under his own power after the touchdown run by Kyle Kujawa. It's time for our school profile on Zeeland West, presented by Bell Tire, as we take you from downtown Detroit to the very west side of the state. A record 6,054 bridge volunteers spent 44,600 hours of caring time in the community's classrooms in Zeeland West during 2010-2011. This exceptional program of community involvement has grown rapidly since its beginning 16 years ago. 2 high schools in the Zeeland School District. Zeeland West is the new one, located on the same campus. You can see they're just a few hundred feet apart. For a long time, it was the Zeeland East Chicks, or just the Zeeland Chicks, and that's, of course, C-H-I-X. So when Zeeland West came along and they wanted to be the Ducks, it had to be D-U-X.
Why wouldn't it be, Dan? Come on.
Pumpkin Fest is a party that Zeeland throws for themselves every year, unlike other regional festivals. The support for Pumpkin Fest comes from the Zeeland community, and its benefits flow right back into the community. The Pumpkin Fest just celebrated its 17th year. Look at Zeeland West High School. Zeeland West just got the big play from Kyle Kujawa. What a run. And now they will go for 2 one more time, leading by 7, trying to make it 9. The keeper, and Clay Coatney scores 2 more for the Ducks.
Great ball handling on that fake. Coatney does a good job putting that ball on his hip. He really does. And they're so effective running inside. All he does is big fake, rides him in, holds the ball on that hip, beats everybody to the corner.
I don't think anybody saw him until he was in the end zone.
No.
That's great ball handling by Clay Coatney. Gets high marks from his head coach for the job he's done. He's a junior, first-year starter, and he's done a terrific job running this Ducks offense. So the Mariners, very tough defensively, have given up some big plays in the first half on a kickoff return. Their defense has been kind of bend but don't break, and then they give up the big long run touchdown run by Kyle Kujawa.
Well, the key, I thought going in was, could the Marine City defense handle this offense, right? And you know, they've done a good job so far. They're very tough to go 4 quarters against. What'll be key, Dan, is if Jordan Van Dort, their #1 blocker, is able to come back in this football game.
Zach Dreyer with another touchback. What a valuable weapon that is. You can't kick to the Mariners with the threats they have back there on the kickoff. So the instructions from head coach John Shillito to Zach Dreyer were kick it into the end zone for the automatic touchback, and he's done that twice. We saw the big return the first time. Well, now Marine City, John, goes on offense. We've seen them show a little bit of everything so far, with some success, but the 1 turnover looms pretty big right now.
Well, very crucial for these guys to answer on this drive.
They're going to throw it on first down, fake left, roll right. Kroll's looking deep and overthrows Glodich, who was behind his man, couple of number ones matched against each other. Glodich against Messbergen, but he just overthrew him. That's pretty good arm strength from Adam Kroll. First incompletion of the game.
Well, that was a good route. It was close, well covered. He probably could have ran the ball there too. He was out there. He had broke contain, and he may be able to pick up 5-10 yards if he had run the football.
Averages 5 yards a carry. Doesn't run it a lot. On second down, his pass is chipped and incomplete, which is a good thing because Scarselli, had he caught it, would have lost a couple of yards. Drew Lopez, at 5'9", 255 pounds, the nose tackle, got up and blocked that one.
He's showing some good vertical ups on that one. They tried, it was a double slot that time. They tried to run a little hitch screen to Scarselli, and Lopez did a great job getting his hands up in the passing lane.
So a couple of throws on the first two. And now the Mariners facing 3rd and 10. And once again, Kroll rolls to his right, looks downfield, looking deep, and he just missed his man. Paul Kelly, the intended receiver, he missed him by a matter of inches. Otherwise, Kelly's gone for 6.
They're getting some guys open on this. Here it is. Kelly's runs wide. That time, it was just really an up route. They froze. Kajala froze there for a minute, and he ran by him. Fortunate, the ball was overthrown.
Pretty strong run, or pretty strong throw for Kroll on the run. Didn't even get a chance to set his feet and throw, and he just missed by a matter of inches.
He'd like to have that one back.
Messbergen is deep for the Ducks, who lead by 9 in the second quarter. And Marine City will burn their second timeout of the first half. Facing 4th and 10, their head coach, Tony Scarselli, didn't like what he saw. Zeeland West with some big plays. Long touchdown run, long kickoff return, had the 9-point lead.
We're here because you guys are the tightest team we've ever had. 09, more talent than you. 10, more talent than you. They didn't get here. They relied totally on talent. You guys are the tightest group we've ever had. Tightest group by far. So when that game gets going, you just rely on each other and you're going to be fine. Do your job. Don't do anyone else's job. Do your job and worry about what play. That's what's the most important play of the game. After their butts from the get-go, and that's all you worry about. The next play. Let's go get that.
We can play that cut. The MHSAA Super Show presents highlights from state finals competition and many of the other sports which crown champions during this fall sports season. You can enjoy a look at the tremendous team and individual accomplishments on the MHSAA Fall Super Show. It premieres on Sunday, December the 18th at 9 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. on Fox Sports Detroit. So 3 plays in punt for the Mariners. Dropping back, Clayton Press, and he gets a foot into it. Messbergen in his own 34 gets it out to the 44 before he's brought down. A good open field tackle by Mitch Meppelink, a junior on the defensive line for Zeeland West.
First down, Zeeland West.
Make it the tackle that time by Josh Bistner for Marine City. Zeeland West gets the ball back, leading by 9 with 4 minutes to go in the first half. You see the multiple formations for the Mariners. Same formation every time for the Ducks. They give up the middle. Not much there. Messbergen. Couple of yards on first down, running right side. Aaron Lokensaw, the senior linebacker, brings him down after the short gain. We'll call it a gain of just 1.
One thing about these guys at Zeeland, they're very, very patient. If they stop it a couple times, they're going to continue to run it. They're that confident in this offense that it will eventually wear the defense down.
370 yards a game rushing. That's been the average game for the Ducks this year. Running left side is Postma. He's got a first down across the 45 into Mariners territory before Bogdanovic brings him down. DJ Burns helps out, a gain of 12.
That really was the same play to the left side with Postma that they've had success coming to the right with Kujawa. Same play, they pull a guard, they kick out, he gets a running lane. Good effort. Kujawa showing he's a good blocker as well as a runner.
First down, Ducks. Moving relentlessly down the field. Here's Kujawa. Oh, just tripped up flag in the defensive backfield. Kujawa almost got free again. He just had the long touchdown run on the last drive. Let's see what the penalty is. Scarcelli in on the tackle again.
Holding on the offense.
Interesting. The flag came in from the defensive backfield side of the ball.
On the opposite side of the field. Exactly, Dan.
So they'll back this one up. Spot foul takes it back to the 48-yard line of Marine City. So first down and 16 now for the Ducks. And again, the concern for the Ducks is all their two-way players, that whether they can get worn down. But right now, John, they're doing a good job of kind of wearing down this Mariners defense.
They really are. They're a full head of steam, and they're not slowing up a bit.
Postma left side, big hole across the 40-yard line. Gets about 8 of those yards back with a strong carry on first down. We'll call it a gain of 9.
They just came back to it. They ran that same play 2 plays before. That time coming around the corner, caught them slanting the wrong way. Good call. Postma doing a good job picking up that extra yardage.
2nd and 8 from the 40-yard line. This is a big, big possession for the Ducks, and especially for the Mariners trying to stop the Ducks. Mariners need a stop, already down 9. Left side, Postma into the open field again. Down to the 25-yard line before Alex Kroll brings him down. But the holes are getting bigger and bigger on that left side that we highlighted earlier, led by Casey Messberger and Cade Van Eyck, a gain of 15.
Well, they found something they like over there on that left side, and they continue to pound away on it. This is just basic football. Here it is. You're kicking out. We're sealing. He's coming up in the chute. It's just good football.
Jason Cooper on that left side as well, the tight end, opening up that big hole. The keeper this time for Coatney looked like he was going to get nothing, but he stepped out of a tackle and he ended up with a nice gain on first down before Bogdanovic brought him down with Lokensaw.
Well, they'll pound you continually with Postma or Kujawa, and then all of a sudden Coatney will put it on his hip and get out there.
Been well trained on that, putting the ball on the hip move.
Yeah,
he's used it to great effect so far.
He's very good with the football, very good hiding the ball.
Running right side, and this time for Kujawa. No running room at all. Lokensaw came up and stopped him in his tracks for a loss. 2-yard loss on 2nd down, setting up 3rd and long for the Ducks. Counting down inside a minute. The Ducks still have all 3 of their timeouts left. Marine City has 1.
Well, you know, this is 4-down territory for these guys, so they're in no hurry. They got plenty of time. They got plenty of timeouts.
3rd and 7. Oh boy, a couple of men in motion, and it was Postma with a man in motion right who made the false step forward, and that'll back up the Ducks 5 yards.
Thought it was Canadian football for a moment.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
You could hear John Shillito on our field mic saying before the penalty, I called timeout, but obviously didn't get it, and you can see the obvious penalty there.
That's one of the reasons they don't motion very much. You know, they're not used to it.
So 3rd and 12. Jordan Van Dort, who was injured earlier, is back in the game. The big tight end on the right side, number 81.
Keep an eye on him.
Courtney looking right side, has Postma, and he's brought down shy of the 1st down. But as you said, 4-down territory. That's a big pickup on 3rd down. Anthony Scarcelli again up with the hit after a gain of 9.
At time they just faked the counter inside. He rolled. They tried to do a little flood pass there. That time delivered the football. Timeout. We'll see what they got left in their bag of tricks here for the 1st down.
They did let a lot of time run off the clock with 3 timeouts left, John, and down to 14 seconds. If they get a 1st down, they've got to look for the end zone now.
They got 2 plays.
Well, aspiring high school athletes and coaches are nurtured in sports as they grow into their knowledge and skills. The same expectation should be true for game officials. Unfortunately, some people expect officials to start out perfect and then get better. We need to keep the officiating ranks strong. So be a good sport. Support everyone in the game, players, coaches, and officials. To become a registered game official, go to MHSAA.com. So 14 seconds for the Ducks. 4th down and 3. With the timeouts, you can certainly run the ball here if you want to, but as you said, John, really you maybe got 3 plays if you call 2 quick timeouts.
3 might be ambitious too. I'm thinking 2. You look for them to come back to Van Dort, I think. Put Kajawa or Courtney on the roll and try to get to Van Dort.
Everybody on their feet here at Ford Field. The snap is fumbled, but a flag flies. And again, a false start on the Ducks.
But they're not doing themselves any favors down here.
So now 4th and 8.
5-yard penalty, moves the ball to the 23-yard line. 4th down and 8.
What does John Shillito have here? Postma's been very effective on this drive, running left side. Do they try to run it or throw it? 14 seconds to go. The Zeeland West Ducks trying to add to a 9-point lead. They will try to throw. Courtney looking down the middle to Van Dort, down to the 6-yard line. Timeout called. Jordan Van Dort, the big tight end with soft hands, makes the catch and a gain of 18.
Nothing fancy. Van Dort did a nice job getting his body in between the defender. You can see Van Dort. Watch him outside release. Just coming down the middle of the field. He gets his body in between the defender and the football. Keeps it, makes the guy go through him. Huge catch. Great presence. And then bowls down there. Pick up that 1st down. Huge play. What a target.
When you get that body in between the ball and the defender, good luck trying to get around it.
Well, and that, a lot of guys don't know how to do that, and he does a good job shielding that defender with his ball, with his body. They froze the linebacker, and they got the ball over top of the linebackers in front of the safeties.
Thrown a little behind him. Boy, John, this guy could be really something as Scarcelli brings him down. But Jordan Van Dort, again, just a sophomore.
Yes.
6'5", 280.
Well, and he's got great feet, Dan. That's the one thing. I mean, you find guys that big, a lot of them don't have the kind of feet and athleticism that Van Dort does. And he's a real prospect, and he's a tremendous high school football player as even a sophomore.
So timeout called. 9 seconds to go. An 8-play, 50-yard drive has eaten up 4 minutes of the clock here in the 2nd quarter. Do the Ducks have time for 2 plays? And again, you would think Van Dort would be a target. They do have a timeout, so they could run it if they want to. Courtney will give right side, and stopped short of the goal line is Kajawa. And the Ducks will burn their last timeout. J.J. Russell and a guy whose name we've been calling a lot, Anthony Scarselli, in on the tackle.
Well, Anthony's a great football player, but when you call his name as much as we have on the defensive side, that means that they're getting a lot of yardage past the line of scrimmage. And
he's been involved in a dozen tackles already, I think, John.
Yep. Just pull that backside guard, lead with the fullback. Solid football. They've run that play 10 times this half already. They go to both sides, right? Either Postma to the left, Kajawa to the right side.
So what do you do here, John? Last play of the half, leading by 9. They're not going to kick the field goal.
I think you're going to get Coatney on the run and see if he can either, I think, release a tight end or a backside receiver.
Give him an option.
Give him an option. Either he can get to the corner, or if they get stopped, he's going to have somebody to throw the football to.
Coatney has already scored an extra point on a keeper. And that's the thing about this offense. It may be a wing T, same formation, but they sure give you a lot of looks once they start running plays.
Well, what they can do, the play can look the same, but they block it differently, right? So it's the same play, but they're blocking it differently. So in essence, it's more than one play and more than one look.
Last play of the first half. Big play for both teams, especially Marine City. Coatney looking in the end zone, has a man, touchdown, Derek Postma.
Had two guys were wide open, Van Dort and Postma. They flopped Van Dort to the wide side.
Clay Coatney delivers it perfectly.
Coming out in here, you got Postma coming out. Two guys wide open. Take your pick.
Perfect throw to Postma. Van Dort thought it was behind him, but it was perfectly to Derek Postma.
Yep.
Final play of the first half is a touchdown. And now time is called before this attempted two-point conversion. Marine City has to be a little bit gassed on defense. That was a long drive, physical drive. And Tony Scarselli unhappy with one of the officials. You think he wanted a timeout before that last play? He is really giving it to the lead official. But Zeeland West, very impressive. On their last couple of drives, they'd been stopped by Marine City, and now they're just pounding the ball, but also, John, mixing in at key times. Good throws from Clay Coatney.
They've been very opportunistic. You just ball fake, you flood the wide side of the field, and when you got a Van Dort out there, they got to account for him. And Coatney did a nice job drawing in the linebackers. He really had his choice of two guys. Did a great job with that fake. They flopped Van Dort from the right side to the left side that time, which really opened up that whole side.
10-play, 55-yard drive. Eats up the final 4:16 of the first half. And now this two-point conversion, John, is the difference between a two-possession and a three-possession game.
Very critical.
They don't get it, then Marine City is still within 2 touchdowns. A successful two-point conversion, and Marine City has to score 3 times.
Well, and Zeeland is getting the ball to start the second half. So
after the timeout, the first half is already over, but one final play for the two-point conversion attempt. Coatney the give, broken tackle into the end zone. Postma. He was stopped 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, but kept the legs going. 2 more for the Ducks and a 17-point lead.
Well, there's a reason Postma scored 22 touchdowns, is over 1,000 yards. One guy's not bringing him down. Arm tackle is not going to bring that lad down.
What an impressive first half after Marine City took the 7-point lead. The Ducks of Zeeland West have answered with 24 unanswered points to take a 17-point lead at the half. It's been mostly on the ground with some well-timed throws, but Let's take a look at how they got to this point, leading by 17, largely on the ground. It's been Kajawa to the right side. Some beautiful runs by Coatney. But, John, he's really been spreading that ball around.
He does a nice job. You got Kajawa to the right, you got Postma to the left, and you got Coatney either side, depending on what they want to do. And you got the big fella,
Shannon Hogan is now down on the field with the Zeeland West head coach, John Shillito.
Coach, you have to be happy about that first half. What did you see from your team and from Marine City?
Well, you know, I thought on our part we put forth a great effort on defense in particular. They scored real quick on us after the long kick return, and then they caught us on one on a pass. But I thought the rest of the half we played terrific defense. I thought offensively, you know, we made some big plays. We're not real consistent yet, I don't think, on that side of the ball, but we're obviously pleased.
What does it do to a game going into the half when you score like that with just a few seconds left?
That's big. You know, to go from 16-7 to 24-7, that's a huge boost for our kids going in the locker room. It makes it a little tougher for them coming back out of the locker room for Marine City.
All right, thanks so much, Coach. Good luck with the rest of the game. Dan, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Shannon, I guess they knew what they were doing, using those timeouts just right, John. I was wondering why they didn't call one earlier, but they gave themselves just enough time. Terrific first half by the Ducks. Their defense shutting down the Mariners. The offense coming up with big plays and a 17-point lead. Inside Ford Field, Division IV state championship game in Zeeland West after falling behind early 7-0, 24 unanswered points. And they've got the 17-point lead at the half. Welcome back inside Ford Field. Zeeland West here for the second time in 5 years. The school's only been around for 7 years. But it was 5 years ago they won their first state championship in their second year of existence. It was impressive. 22-0 win over Coopersville. All Ducks from the start. Aaron Vandenbelt capped it off, a 5-yard scamper into the end zone. Vandenbelt into the end zone again. 22-0 win. John Shillito talked about the differences between that 2006 championship team and this year's team.
This team is not quite as big in the backfield, a little quicker. Defensively, I think we play with a little more speed than we had in 06. But, you know, again, the path is similar. And we had a big win against Catholic Central this year. We had a big win against Grand Rapids Catholic Central in 06 in the district championship game. So similar that way.
It's been a very impressive first half for the Ducks. The 97-yard kickoff return after giving up the big play touchdown. And that launched the Ducks to a 24-point explosion. They score early, they score late, and they've got the 17-point halftime lead. The MHSAA football finals are brought to you by Paul's TV. For the biggest deals on big screens, come to Paul's TV. Now inside every Art Van store. By the Sam Bernstein Law Firm. Call 1-800-CALL-SAM. And by Spartan Stores. Earn points, get free groceries with Yes Rewards. It's a happy bunch from Zeeland West. Strike up the band. The Ducks lead by 17 at halftime. Back inside Ford Field, John Wangler and Dan Dickerson. We're at halftime of the Division IV championship game. Zeeland Ducks lead by 17. John, we saw a very entertaining game earlier in the day. Ithaca and Constantine, lots of scoring early, no scoring in the second quarter. And then Ithaca's offense, which we talked about, a very powerful, explosive offense, exploded in the second half.
It was the Travis Smith show. He could throw, he could run. The sophomore had an unbelievable game. He really led that offense.
The short touchdown run here, and it was a 14-point lead for Ithaca. This was a big play with Constantine driving. Josh Slater picks up the loose ball, the linebacker right there, and he's gone for the touchdown, and suddenly a 14-point game, John, becomes a 21-point game. At that point, it looked like Constantine might get back to the game with a touchdown drive. That was the backbreaker.
It really was. That was the nail in the coffin, and they had too much after that. It just couldn't come back.
Earlier today, Mendon in Division 8, a 33-0 win over Fowler, and then a matchup of Titans, Brother Rice and Lowell, and Brother Rice comes away with a 10-point win. Devin Church, 257 total yards in that Division II championship game and 3 touchdowns. Explosive runner, and he put all his talents on display in Division II. Ithaca, the 28-point winner in Division 6. We're wrapping up a very full day. Day 1 of the state high school football finals, and it's been the Zeeland West Ducks on top throughout the second quarter. They lead by 17 at the half. Halftime of the Division IV championship game between Zeeland West and Marine City, and this game got off to one heck of a start, John Wangler. You had the touchdown pass early, 41 yards from Adam Kroll to Gunnar Glodich, but right away Zeeland Ducks answer right back.
They can run the football.
Brad Messbergen on the 97-yard kickoff return sets a state record, and then the important 2-point conversion, and John, suddenly the Ducks had the lead.
Yeah, right. That was the first time we saw Postma get in the end zone. Kajawa did a great job just coming off tackle. That was their bread and butter play. Kajawa to the right, Postma to the left. Here he is following his lead blocker there. Big play, dragging guys into the end zone. Unbelievable effort by Kajawa. Here it is. Coatney, little bootleg, puts the ball on his hip. We saw him do it 4 or 5 times that first half. Great fake, touchdown. Here it is, the big pass play. 2 guys open, take your pick, touchdown, Zeeland.
Total yards in that first half. You can see Zeeland West over 200. Marine City, some offense early, John, but you have to give the Ducks credit. Their offense really stopped the Mariners after their first couple of drives.
They did. They made great adjustments. They abandoned the run. Marine City abandoned the run a little quick. They went to the pass, which is not really their game. And this second half, they're going to have to establish the run again and somehow find a way of slowing down Zeeland's offense.
It looked like they were going to go in for a score that would have given them the lead after falling behind 8-7. It was a touchdown-saving tackle by Messbergen, who had returned the kickoff on Scarcelli, and then the next play, a turnover. Otherwise, this first half might have looked very different.
That really hurt. That touchdown at the end of the first half really was tough momentum breaker. Zeeland's going to get the ball the first to the second half. Marine City has to stop them that first drive and come back and get their legs under them again.
Yeah, because if the Mariners had stopped on that that last play of the first half, we have a different look, but instead they have a 3-score deficit at halftime in the Division IV finals. 17-point lead for the Zeeland West Ducks. We're back with a second half kickoff after these words. "17-point halftime lead for Zeeland West." Tony Scarcelli, the head coach of the Marine City Mariners, is down on the sidelines with our Shannon Hogan.
Coach, your last time giving these guys a pep talk at halftime, what did you say to them?
Well, we said we got a whole other half of football. I mean, you know, we stunk in a couple areas of the game. We don't usually turn the ball over. We can't turn the ball over in a 20-yard line going in. We can't give up a kickoff return. Other than that, you know, defensively we didn't play horrible considering what we're up against here. But hey, for 99% of these kids, it's the last time they're going to be putting pads on. I got 41 seniors. How do they want to remember? How do they want to go out? So I thought the kids were very focused, ready to go, and we got 24 minutes to make something happen.
All right, thanks so much, Coach. Good luck with the rest of the game. Dan, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Shannon, and Zeeland will get the ball to start the second half. So as John mentioned, this will be a very important first possession for Marine City to try to stop a Zeeland West offense that has been very efficient in the first half. This was the Marine City score in the first half. Gunnar Glodich on the 41-yard touchdown strike. Marine City Mariners fans hoping for some second half magic from Marine City. They took the early 7-0 lead, and then the Ducks of Zeeland West with 3 touchdowns and 3 2-point conversions, 24 unanswered points to win that first half. And John, this is a Marine City team that is built to wear down other teams, but it looked like Zeeland's West offense if not wearing down the Mariners defense, certainly did a heck of a job making them back on their heels a little bit.
They did do a good job, Dan. They're a big offensive line, and they got big backs. Marine City's a smaller, quicker defense, right? They're built more for speed. This is the kind of offense that gives them fits.
183 yards in the second quarter for the Ducks, and look at that time of possession. That's what they want to do, because the Mariners, they want to, if not a no huddle, they want to hurry up the offense, and they want to wear down the Ducks, who have all those two-way players. They weren't able to do that in the first half.
No, you're exactly right, Dan. Don't be surprised. You heard what Tony Scarcelli said. They have 41 seniors, right? These guys are dog fighters. They're not going to go out without a fight.
High short kick fielded at the 22, and Postma will be dragged down at the 30-yard line. A big early possession, just an 8-yard return for the Ducks on the short kickoff, but decent field position at their own 30-yard line, and the Mariners simply need a stop. They couldn't stop the Ducks in the second quarter.
And they got to set the tempo for this second half. They got to give them a 3-and-out on this one if they want to get back in this ball game.
You couldn't have asked much more out of that young man, the junior Clay Coatney, first-year starter, the way he ran the offense in the first half, John.
He's tremendous ball handler. His fakes, he threw the ball well, did a nice job running that offense.
Full house backfield, you'll see that on every down. The give is on the right side to Kyle Kajawa. What a 1-2 punch. Kajawa and Postma, we set it up coming in, and they've delivered.
What's so interesting is Coach Schlitzow is so patient, right? You know, you can stop that play a couple times, but they will continue to pound you, and it's almost till you cry uncle, and then they start hitting those cracks, and then Coatney keeps it around on a keeper.
2nd down and 7. They're going to try to run as much clock as possible. Left side carry for Derek Postma, and a gain of 2 yards. Brought down at the 35. And we'll call it 3rd and 5 for the Ducks in their first possession of the second half.
You know what's interesting is they're happy with 3-4 yards of carry. They're not greedy because they don't like to punt, and they don't care. It's 4-down territory damn near anywhere on the field.
10-play, 55-yard drive to end the first half. And now 3rd and 5 on the first possession of the second half, and a flinch in the backfield when Coatney stepped back from center. Somebody in the backfield moved.
Penalty flag prior to the play. That ball false start against Zeeland West.
Well, when Coatney's been asked to put the ball up in the air, he's done so very effectively. Jordan Van Dort has 2 big catches totaling 41 yards.
That's what Coach said going into this game, that he's a very efficient passer, and he capitalizes on his opportunities.
See if they put the ball up here. Postma has also been a target. Rolling left. And he's looking for Van Dort, and he's got him in midfield. Van Dort steps out of the tackle. He's down the sideline. Inside the 10. Steps inside the tackle, down to the 5. The big man with a big play. 64 yards.
Van Dort is a load. Look at it. This is really all. Here's Van Dort. All they do, he bootlegs out to the right. You drag Van Dort across the formation. You're going to clear out with this guy here. He squares his shoulders. Cody does a great job squaring his shoulders. Right-hander throwing back to the left. He makes a big play. Watch the big fella spin out of that move, rumbling down the sidelines.
You talked about his feet, John. We just saw a good example. He got an extra 5 yards stepping inside the tackle. The give left side. Postma gains about 4 down to the 2. Another look at the big 64-yard gain for Jordan Van Dort.
This is what I like. Watch his spin move. Whoop. There you go.
That's great balance.
Yes, it is. He's 6'5", 275.
And right here, he's looking for contact. You want to bring me down?
That's a throwback tight end right there.
3 catches, they've all been big. And the Ducks trying to score in their first possession of the second half. Give right side. And Kajawa stacked up a loss of 2. Lokensall and J.J. Russell combining on the tackle. And again, you would expect, John, this is 4-down territory. So these are 2 now big downs for the Mariners.
You don't see that very often, those guys having a negative play. They're always going forward, even if it's for a yard or 2. That's one of the real benefits of that offense is there's very, very few negative plays.
3rd and goal. On his hip, keeper Coatney stacked up in another loss. Jack Badovanek makes the tackle. And now 4th down. Again, Zach Dreyer with a good leg, but just 1 field goal all year. He can certainly make it from here, but John Shillito's certainly making it look like.
Here it is on his hip. Watch Badovanek coming up here. Right there from the corner spot. Nice job.
Hanging on and then getting some help. 4th down for the Ducks. 5-yard line. And a timeout called by Marine City. Big play. This could be the game for Marine City if they can get a stop right here. But a touchdown, well, certainly makes it awfully difficult.
Well, this would be a momentum changer, right? They got to stop these guys, especially after that big play. Get the momentum change back to Marine City.
Tony Scarcelli having some words of inspiration for his team on that far sideline. They've not been able to find a way to stop the big man Jordan Van Dort, or really on the last several possessions, just they haven't been able to slow down the Ducks. The Ducks have been relentless moving the ball down the field.
Well, you can see there the big thing. They have 49 yards rushing, right, Dan? I mean, this is an offense that's putting up almost 300 yards a game, and you got 49 in the first half. That's really been the difference.
And again, this is not typically an offense that's a big play offense in terms of coming from behind, if you need to come from behind. And yet they are explosive, talking about Marine City.
They have some big, I mean, with Scarcelli, they have some big play guys who can make it happen. But their base offenses, they want to control the football, and they want to move it up and down the field and keep that other offense off the field by rushing the football, and they haven't been able to do that tonight.
They're down 3 scores right now. They don't want to think about falling behind any further. Big play in this game. 4th and goal for the Ducks. Coatney's rolling, has a man, Van Dort, touchdown!
Nothing fancy. All they did on that one, they just released the big fella into the flat, stayed on the move. Great throw execution on that. Saw the mismatch, went right to it.
I'll tell you, Coatney has been very accurate throwing on the run.
He really has. He sets his feet. He's throwing. That time he was throwing to the right or left. He's been very effective.
Dreyer on for the extra point. It is up and it is good. Zeeland West with a touchdown in their last 3 possessions. The extra point here makes it a 24-point game. Clay Coatney throwing on the run. Van Dort unstoppable, and Zeeland West with a 24-point lead.
Welcome back to Ford Field. Well, Zeeland West just scored again. The score now 31-7 over Marine City. And Zeeland West is actually the second school in the past 2 years as a dual school to make it here to the finals. And so far, they're looking a little bit better than Plymouth did last year. Now, what I mean by a dual school is take a look at their map of their campus. Zeeland was actually split into Zeeland West and Zeeland East a few years back. And Zeeland West didn't even have sports teams until 2005. The odd thing, though, is that these kids are in school together all day. So you could be sitting in chemistry class with a guy that's going to be playing on Zeeland East, and they're right there in class with you. So it's a little unique there at Zeeland, but having a great night here tonight. Back to you guys.
And Shannon, the head coach of Zeeland West, John Shillito, says it really is the best kind of rivalry, John, where you've got guys who are really friends, good friends, off the field because of what Shannon just said. They're sharing classrooms sometimes, and yet on the field, they still want to beat each other. This wasn't much of a rivalry, Zeeland West versus Zeeland East for a while, but now it's a very good rivalry. Both are in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, that's impressive, you know. They play some great football on the west side of the state, and, you know, obviously these programs reflect it.
A short kick, keeping it away from that trio deep for the Mariners. And it'll be DJ Burns to grab it on the short kick. Then get it across the 25-yard line. And there's still a lot of time left. But again, John, there's a drive that took over 4 minutes off the clock. And it's not a big strike offense. It's a high-scoring Mariners offense, but not a quick strike offense generally.
Yeah, and they're going to have to get a couple quick scores to get back in this game. And typically, as you said, Dan, that's not their bread and butter.
We have seen Kroll throw the ball very effectively, deep.
Unbalanced. They've gone unbalanced here.
Lots of different looks for the offense. The fake to Scarcelli, the give up the middle, and just nothing there for Jamie Salisbury. Two big plays. Bryn Tiemeyer on the tackle. Two big plays in this game in the first half. The first 4 passes, John, you can see 4 completions for 100 yards. One was by Lokensall on the little flip, really lateral to the left.
Yep.
But they've got guys who can get behind the secondary.
Well, and they've had a few guys running free. They just didn't hit the passes, and they're going to have to throw the ball to get back in this game. They got to get a couple quick scores.
We have an injury. The whistle blew, so an injured Ducks player can make his way off the field. Casey Messbergen. There are a number of brother combinations. Casey Messbergen is the brother of Brad Messbergen. We told you about Josh Blanton. His brother Nathaniel Blanton is also on this team. Well, you can get the latest on your favorite teams at foxsportsdetroit.com. An experienced team of writers and reporters cover the pro and college ranks, plus watch live streaming of select MHSAA championship events. Get exclusive stories, analysis, videos, and much more at foxsportsdetroit.com. Scarcelli up the middle. And he's going to be a few yards shy. Good gain on second down, but that brings up 3rd and 2. And again, the clock running. Nathaniel Blanton in on the tackle for Zeeland West. You talked about it, John. Missing an all-state linebacker. Big blow. It had some players in tears after a win over Comstock Park. That's how much he meant to this team.
Well,
but somebody else has stepped up.
Yep, and they said on the bus ride home nobody was talking, Danny, because it was so eerie that they lost their defensive leader.
Very tight-knit team, and his loss really affected these young men. Give up the middle. That's a first down. And you would think that Marine City is going to get into a little more of a hurry-up mode. First down since the first quarter for Marine City. You can see Tony Scarcelli, I think, wants this offense to move a little bit quicker. Give right side, and the Ducks are all over. Tyrell Woodward. Jake McKellar, Brad Messbergen combine on the tackle. John, this is an offense that in past weeks has huddled right near the line of scrimmage, trying to force the issue, call a play quickly, turn around, they're ready to go, but they're really not doing that.
Their whole offense has been a tempo offense, Dan. Exactly right.
Down by 24. Adam Kroll changing the play, give up the middle, Ducks are all over it. Jamie Salisbury, no running room inside. And that's going to bring up 3rd and long.
That time, Dan, they went unbalanced again to the field, and they just tried that quick trap to the field. And I'll tell you, Zeeland West is doing a great job up front defending that. They are not fooled at all by the unbalanced or the multiple formations.
3rd and 7. Mariners haven't scored since their first possession of the game. Kroll looking downfield, has a man and a first down. Out of bounds at the 47-yard line, and then a penalty. Paul Kelly on the catch. And we'll see what the penalty is. If they're calling late hit, you know, Kelly was still running after he went out of bounds. I wonder if they might pick up this flag. 13-yard gain. Let's see what they decide here.
Personal foul on the defense. After the dead ball, it'll be first down.
Big play. Fake bootleg to the right. Watch him square his shoulders, throw it deep out. Nice pass. Great job here. We'll see it right here. Boom. He can't do that. Cannot do that.
Well, in his defense, John, I think the
he was
defender
getting blocked into him. Yeah, that was.
Plus, he didn't think the play was over. I don't think he saw that he stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, the official was right there in front of it.
First down just outside the 30. They'll throw and in and out of the hands of a reliable receiver, Dylan Ferguson. He was open. Ball went through his hands. Second down.
They're going to give him a little cushion there on the corners. They want to keep him in front of them. You know, they'll bend, but they just don't want to break. And if they score, they want to make them take a lot of time off the clock.
Time certainly an ally right now of Zeeland West. The Ducks lead by 24. Nobody in the backfield. The keeper for Kroll, he's got nothing. Marcus Lambert on the inside, moving from the outside to replace Josh Blanton. Stuffed him. Third and long. Quick drop, quick toss, and a catch. But the feet came out from underneath Dylan Ferguson as he made the catch, and that makes it fourth down.
Nice catch by Ferguson. A little risky pass there. The defensive back there did a great job driving on this football. Watch that. Oh, if he'd have made a play with his inside arm there, he might have knocked that ball down or caught it.
That's a heck of a catch by Ferguson.
He redeemed himself there. He came right back and made that catch. I know he's happy
slipped
about
to the
that.
turf. He's making the catch as his feet came out from underneath him. Terrific play. Timeout called on the field by the Ducks before this fourth down. Reminder that you can get the latest on your favorite teams at foxsportsdetroit.com. It's an experienced team of writers and reporters. They cover the pro and college ranks. Plus, watch live streaming of select MHSAA championship events. Get exclusive stories, analysis, videos, and much more. It's all available now at foxsportsdetroit.com. Look at Tony Scarselli. It's got to be quite a thing for him, John. He decided some time ago that when his son, Anthony, was graduating, that would be his last year. He told his staff that 4 years ago. And he has stuck with his decision. He still plans to coach at the lower levels, maybe 7th or 8th grade, he said.
One of the great high school coaches in our state, and he's done a wonderful job up there at Marine City, and you know, they got a great program, and he's leaving it in good hands.
80-7. That's Tony Scarselli's record with Marine City. Quick toss behind Scarselli. Stripped out by Messbergen. Postma on the coverage as well. Fourth down. Incomplete pass, and the Ducks will get the ball back already with a 24-point lead.
First down and 10 from the Ducks 25.
Take it back down to Shannon Hogan, who's got more on that decision by Tony Scarselli and his decision to retire after this year. Shannon?
Yeah, you guys were saying he decided 4 years ago, but the offensive coordinator, Ron Glodich, is going to be taking over, and his son Gunnar is actually a senior and playing tonight. So a lot of father-son storylines here with this team, but I think they have a bright future ahead in the program. Guys.
Well, they've built the program, and John, as you know, I mean, when you keep that continuity going, he hands it off to an assistant who's also been there a long time. They've obviously built something very special there with 10-win seasons each of the last 7 years. You can keep that going because that philosophy and how they do things is going to stay on after Tony Scarselli leaves.
Well, he's built the foundation, you know, and he won a state championship in high school at Warren Woods. He was a successful college player. He's coached in the state for a long time. He knows how to do it.
2nd and 5. Courtney on the keeper. Steps past one tackler, but a very short gain, if a gain at all, on 2nd down. Ken Biscorner, the senior linebacker, on the stop. And that brings up 3rd down. The Mariners just have not been able to stop the Ducks. You see Courtney with a little bit of a limp as he heads back to that huddle. Terrific game, running the offense, running the ball, throwing the ball. He's done everything very, very well. And he's just a junior. Right side give, spinning out of a tackle into the open field across the 45-yard line. Kyle Kajawa just will not be brought down on first contact, John.
I tell you, I've been so impressed with Kajawa. He is he levels off, he runs downhill, he's done it on both sides of the ball. This is basic football. You just get a running back, you pull a guard, no one's taking him down on the first hit. He's got nice shallow cuts. He's a good football player.
Gain of 20 yards for Kajawa, who's had a big night. He's a senior, as is Derek Postma, as is Brad Messbergen. Those are your top 3 backs in that backfield, but as John Chilito says, that this offense works for a lot of different players as they give up the middle. And good running room. Marcus Lambert is a sophomore. He'll be coming back. But John Chilito believes when you plug guys in, this isn't to take anything away from anybody, but this offense works with new faces, and that's what you have to have. Obviously, year after year, you're going to have new faces. This offense works.
It really does. It's a system, right? And the guys start running this system when they're young. They learn the system and they run it to perfection. The one thing about this system, it stresses the defense at every point on the defensive line. You can attack any hole.
Courtney gives left side to Postma. Short gain on 3rd and short, or on 2nd and short. Brings up 3rd and short just outside the 40. Zeeland West down early 7-0, has scored 31 unanswered points. That's 4 touchdowns and 3 two-point conversions. Mariners have not had an answer. They've not been able to stop the Ducks. On those last 3 possessions, he had the kickoff return and then the last 3 possessions. Courtney under center. The give is left side. Feet still moving. Postma, 1st down and more. There haven't been many times tonight when a Ducks running back has been stopped by that first tackler.
Well, you know, it looks like they're getting a little winded over there on defense there. You know, he keeps his feet moving. Watch him right here. It looks like he's stopped. Boom. Okay. Pops right out of it. You know, the guys have been on the field a lot, okay? Marine City's defense has been out there a lot, and they have these drives. It has a cumulative effect. By the 3rd, 4th quarters, these guys are beat up, right?
Anthony Scarselli again making the tackle in the secondary. Give up the middle to Marcus Lambert. And that is the end of the 3rd quarter. Zeeland Ducks answered the challenge in the 3rd quarter, protecting a 17-point lead. They made it bigger, and a 24-point lead going to the final 12 minutes.
All right, one of the best parts about high school football state finals are the cheering sections. And my favorite part is the roller coaster Oh my gosh, that was really like a roller coaster. You gotta give it to them. They've got a lot of spirit at Zeeland West, you guys. I'll send it back to you.
I think they might have done that once or twice this year, Shannon.
I was dizzy just watching them.
I think Shannon did a pretty good job trying to keep up there.
She did. Great effort, Shannon.
Ducks with the ball and a 24-point lead to start the fourth quarter. Kajawa on the carry on 2nd and 6. Gets a couple. J.J. Russell on the stop for the Mariners. We look at the scoring by quarter in this game. Second quarter is really the kind of the turning point in this game. You had 2 big plays right off the bat. And then Zeeland West took over in the second quarter. Remember, 180 yards in the second quarter. And look at the totals now in the second and third quarter. That time of possession really stands out. That puts a big smile on the face of John Shillito. Breaking into the open, Marcus Lambert cuts back right into the end zone. Touchdown, Ducks.
Number 8, Marcus Lambert.
28-yard touchdown run.
Well, that was one of their bread and butter plays, Dan. That was the trap, the inside trap to Lambert. See, they get used to it. He'll cut it back here. Great job. You get used to that off tackle with Postma, Kajawa, and then they run that little inside trap with Lambert. Cuts it back for a big touchdown.
Credit to Jason Cooper, that downfield blocking, allowing Lambert to cut back right and making it look easy. Extra point is up and good from Zach Dreyer. Zeeland West looking for their 2nd state championship in 5 years. And they're rolling right now. The MHSAA football finals are brought to you by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period, at Bell Tire. Zeeland West fans enjoying this one. Their Ducks have scored touchdowns on their last 4 possessions. They have worn down a very good Marine City Mariners defense. And John Shillito, the head coach, talking with his team on the sidelines, is on the verge of another state championship.
You know what's so impressive, Dan? Marine City has been stopping that trap this whole second half. They probably stopped it 8 or 9 times, and he just stuck with it. And then finally they popped it with Lambert there. But you know, that's what you can do when you have that kind of an offense, and they just wear you down. And you can stop them and stop them, but at some point you're gonna pop, and that's what happens. It's tough to go 4 quarters and play a team like that, and you have your defense on the field for so long.
For so long. Again, that time of possession. 19 minutes to 6 over a couple of quarters. It was just all Zeeland Ducks. The kickoff is a good one from Zach Dreyer, and into the end zone. Once it goes into the end zone, it is an automatic touchback, and that's the 3rd of the game for Zach Dreyer. So for the Mariners of Marine City right now, John, just play a hard 4th quarter and go out with your heads held high.
Well, they're going to go out swinging, I guarantee that. All you can do, you know, like Coach Scarcelli said, you know, he told those guys at halftime, right, how do you want to go out, right? How do you want to be remembered? And these guys will not quit until that last whistle blows. So you can expect these last 11 minutes to be action-packed and with no quit on either side.
31-point lead for the Ducks of Zeeland West. Quick toss to Scarcelli, looking for a block. That's a good defensive play in the open field by John Pung, who fought off a block and holds a very dangerous runner in the open field, Scarcelli, to a very short gain on 1st down.
That's the 2nd big play that Pung almost made that interception there on the far side of the field. He's done a great job, especially when you're lined up against a guy like Anthony Scarcelli.
There's a look at the junior corner, John Pung. Couple of wideouts for the Mariners. on 2nd and long. Kroll has it picked off. Messbergen clear shot to the end zone. Flag on the play. I believe the touchdown will stand.
Well, you cannot throw late to the flag.
That's been true for a very long time.
You know, I've had that similar experience, and it's not fun.
We'll see what the call is, but the Mariners think this touchdown will stand.
Dead ball, personal foul, on the offense. Touchdown is good.
Watch that break right there. Messbergen, a tremendous break. He sat right on that route. They tried to run an outcut there to Anthony Scarselli, and he was not fooled. He broke right on that ball, sat on it, and came up with a pick six.
Penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. Messbergen with a 32-yard interception return. He had a big play in the first quarter of this game when he had the touchdown-saving tackle in an 8-7 game on Anthony Scarselli. Could have been a very different look to this game.
That's right.
Early, if he doesn't make that play.
That's a good call.
Extra point is good. Scarselli was tackled on the 20 instead of scoring, and then Mariners turned it over on the very next play. Kroll with a strong arm has had a very good night, but this one goes for 6 the other way. We flash back to 2006, the first championship for Zeeland West, a 22-0 shutout over Coopersville. It was just the second year of existence. There'd only been one high school in Zeeland for a long, long time. And then they split, Zeeland East, Zeeland West, in 2005. And the very next year, in the second year for head coach John Shillito, the state championship with a shutout 22-0 win over Coopersville and his team. John, this looked like a heck of a matchup on paper. 2 unbeatens, 2 very good teams. The Mariners of Marine City had come in after winning their semifinal game 45-6, and you just have to be impressed with what we've seen from Zeeland West. They're just unstoppable right now.
Yeah, their offense really matches up well against Marine City's defense. They got a big, fast, aggressive offense, and these guys are quick on Marine City, and they tighten up the splits and make it very difficult.
Shillito fakes the handoff and keeps it after receiving the short kick, and he's going to make a very short return across the 30-yard line. Mariners go back on offense with a lead now at 38. The clock will run. It will run unless there is a timeout or an injury or for a penalty or a score, but incomplete pass, the clock will still run. If you see it on the screen, that is the reason why. This happens anytime there is a lead of 35 points or more. Adam Kroll out of the shotgun. Carries left side and good gain. Braden Worley sticks his head in there and a good tackle. It's a gain of 9 on first down for Kroll. In the hurry-up offense, trying to salvage something. And this pass in and out of the hands of Dylan Ferguson. Good throw from Kroll, but Ferguson couldn't hang on. So 3rd and short. Kroll is a senior, first-year starter. So he'll be among that senior class departing, along with Jamie Salisbury and Anthony Scarselli. Keeper on 3rd and short, and it's going to be very close to a first down. Kroll on the keeper. And where they spotted it, it is indeed a first down. Cade Van Eyck in to make the stop. It's a fresh-looking group. I guess it's easier to be on the field when you're on offense and moving the ball, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't get nearly as tired when you're moving the ball.
It's a lot more fun, and so all these two-way players still look fresh here in the fourth quarter. Jimmy Salisbury with the carry.
I tell you, Zeeland West, really for the last quarter, Dan, has done a nice job. They've been rotating some guys in there, trying to give them a little breather and keep them fresh.
That's a big goal of their head coach, John Shillito, to rotate some of those guys, and especially on the defensive line, which is where you think you'd really see it. Officials timeout. Looks like an injury to one of the Mariners players. Anthony Albo coming out of the game. Second down, fourth quarter of the Division IV championship game, and it's been all Zeeland West since the second quarter. Quick toss, left flat to Jamie Salisbury. Worley again on the stop for the Zeeland West Ducks. Gain of 6, setting up third and short one more time. No huddle offense. Clock running. And again, Kroll will keep it. Doesn't get much, but it's enough for the first down. Crossing midfield into Zeeland West territory. Aaron Ruiz on the stop. Mariners trying to get a score. They have not scored since the opening minutes of this game. Pressure in the backfield. And Kroll is swarmed by that attacking Ducks defense. Trent Brusma
trying a little hit screen, and that didn't work. Good penetration there, and they're just swarming to the football right now.
So now John Shillito really rotating in some of those players, giving them a chance to play in a Division IV championship game. Carcelli gets the ball on second and forever and gets a good chunk of it back before Blanton and McKellar bring him down.
They've gone to that screen twice now in this drive, both times pretty successfully.
3rd and 8. Kroll out of the shotgun. Throws left side, and it was going to be short, even if it had been caught by Gunnar Glodich, who had the 41-yard touchdown reception in the opening minutes of this game. Even if he makes the catch there, it would have been several yards short of a first down. So 4th and long now for Adam Kroll.
4th down. 4th and 8.
2 touchdowns in the first 2 minutes of the game. And we thought we might have one heck of a wild ride to the way these two teams had scored points. Mariners averaged 43 points a game, and the Ducks 44 coming into this game. But it's only been the Ducks who put up the big numbers. In trouble, Kroll spins out, fighting for his life. Needs a long gain on 4th down, and he won't get there. Comes up a couple of yards shy inside the Ducks' 40-yard line. And the ball goes over on downs.
Great effort
the
there.
Zeeland West Ducks.
Great effort by Kroll. Broken play. Tried to get the quick out. Got penetration. Spun out of that tackle. Good individual effort. It may have been his last play here for the night.
Well, MHSAA.TV will have live streaming coverage of the postgame press conferences from this contest. Plus, you'll find an archive of all of this weekend's championship games. Get bonus coverage of the football finals at MHSAA.TV. The finality when you're a senior is awfully tough to take, isn't it, John?
It really is. You always remember your last game, you know, win or lose. And, you know, for most of these kids, it'll be probably the last time they put on pads. And football is really the greatest game, and high school football game is the best. And for them not to be able to play again, it's tough. It's going to take a while.
Zeeland West calls timeout. John Shillito looks like would like to get some of his reserves into this game. We've got a few guys who are on the 2 deep who haven't seen some action, and I'm sure he'd love to get them in to this game right now.
Yeah, they want to give everybody a chance to get on the Ford Field and play in a state championship game. And it's so tough for those seniors on both sides.
Very, very tough. That's the Mariners bench. And again, it's tough to say. They don't want to hear it now, but they got to the state championship game. They got to the final game of the year. There's only one team that goes home happy in each division. These guys got to the championship game. They had a perfect season through the first 13 games. It's tough, but they had one heck of a season.
You look at their record, Dan, over the last 4 years, and there's not too many high schools in this state can even come close to matching what they've done over the last 4 years.
10+ wins every year under Tony Scarselli, who is retiring after this game tonight as the varsity head coach. Handing things over to his offensive coordinator, Ron Glodich. Well, some new faces in there for the Zeeland Ducks, and what a thrill it is for some of these youngsters. Clay Coatney, the quarterback, is still running the offense. The give is up the middle, and there's lots of running room. J.R. Russell, or J.R. Fassett, excuse me, on the carry that time. A gain of 15 yards. So the senior gets into the game. His first carry of the game is a 15-yarder.
And what play do they call? Inside trap.
Can you say bread and butter?
Well, that was the inside trap and the off tackle. That's they make a living on those two plays.
15-yard gain, a little collision in the backfield. And this time it's Micah Gargala, a senior, who's also getting a chance to carry the ball. So a couple of seniors who haven't had a chance to play tonight get a couple of carries and a couple of nice gains for these two. J.R. Fassett and Micah Gargala. Zeeland West Ducks fell behind early. Got a 97-yard kickoff return from Brad Messbergen to take the lead when they got the 2-point conversion. And they've been rolling ever since. The give is left side now to Mitch Hession. And he's going to get a first down across the 35-yard line of the Mariners. Gain of 7 yards. And I think you can tell that's why John Shillito called that timeout.
Yeah.
John did. He was looking over his bench. He wanted to make sure that all his second-team guys got into this game. We've seen 3 new players now carry the ball the last 3 plays.
Well, he's a class act, a great coach, done a wonderful job for a lot of years.
The give this time is to another back getting his first carry of the night, Corey Duchesne, a junior fullback. 4 different players have now carried the ball on the last 4 plays. All their first carry of the night for Zeeland West.
You know where Coach Shillito's from, don't you, Dan? Royal Oak, Michigan. Kimball. And he reminded me that we were on the same summer basketball team back in 1972.
Couldn't have been that long ago.
Peach Brew, shooting at beach baskets back then.
Right side give to Cole Hession, and nice gain for Hession. A big carry all the way down to the 12-yard line. That's a 20-yard gain for Hession. And that Mariners defense just right now worn down.
Well, they've made a lot of substitutions too.
Yeah, that's right.
It's, you know, that's the scary thing about that offense. You know, they just plug guys in. I mean, they just keep rotating new backs, and there's not a lot of drop off.
They'd lost some talent last year. Here's a give up the middle to Grant Postma. Grant Postma, the younger brother of Derek Postma. 5 different backs now getting their first carry of the night. And Tony Scarselli, you can see him rotating the players in defensively as he gets some playing time for some of his seniors who have not had a chance yet to play in a championship game.
Well, he's got 41 of them. So, I mean, imagine trying to get all those guys in a game.
Last couple of plays of the Division IV championship game. And the Ducks will take a knee and have to run one more play as we're inside the final minute here at Ford Field. And the fans on both sides, the Ducks fans below us and the fans of the Mariners across the way in their orange, all standing right now acknowledging their teams. The Ducks will come away with the championship, and the Mariners will come away with one very memorable run to the state finals and come up one game short of a championship. Final play of the game. Coatney takes a knee, and for the second time in the school's short history, for the second time in 5 years, the Zeeland West Ducks are state champions in Division IV. That young man has a lot to be happy about. The junior quarterback, Clay Coatney, ran the offense to perfection tonight.
He was a magician. I was so impressed not only with the way he faked and ran the ball, but the way he threw the ball, Dan.
He just got a celebratory headbutt from one of his teammates who didn't realize he didn't have his helmet on.
He didn't feel a thing
He
either.
didn't feel it. Didn't feel a thing. Tony Scarcelli, who was retiring after this game as the varsity head coach, shaking hands. We go back to our play of the game presented by your neighborhood Spartan Stores. It was the 97-yard state record kickoff return by Brad Messbergen. That was the early big play because Mariners from Marine City had just scored on a 41-yard touchdown pass. Well, Messbergen delivers that kickoff return for a touchdown, the two-point conversion, and the Ducks 2 minutes in had a lead. They would not give up the rest of the way. One impressive performance. Zeeland West Division IV state champions.
From Detroit Country Day School,
The broadcast of this game is a copyrighted presentation of the Michigan High School Athletic Association and Fox Sports Detroit. No reproduction, retransmission, or other distribution of the images, descriptions, or accounts of this game may take place without express written consent. The Zeeland West Ducks, Division IV champions, and John, you couldn't be more impressed with the way they did it today. Marine City was just outmatched. Zeeland West was that good.
Marine City is a good football team, and Zeeland West is a great football team, Dan. Those guys offensively put on a clinic of wing T football. They had tight splits. They just came at you. They ran a trap. They ran off tackle, nothing fancy. They threw the ball, kept them off balance. They had a lot of weapons, and they put an offensive clinic on. And defensively, they did a great job swarming the football. And I was so impressed with their team speed and the fact that they had 8 guys going both ways, and they looked fresh through the whole game. And really, from top to bottom, they're a great coach. Coach Shilto's a wonderful coach. Did a great job and very well prepared.
It was fun to watch a team that's that well coached play that well. But for our entire crew and my partner, John Wangler, along with Shannon Hogan, this is Dan Dickerson with our final score in the Division IV title game. Zeeland West, the Ducks, with their second championship in 5 years, 45. Marine City 7. You've been watching the MHSAA football finals. So long and good night, everyone, from Ford Field.
T-shirts, hats.
Along with John Wangler, I'm Dan Dickerson. What a first day of championship football here at Ford Field. Earlier today, we saw a couple of terrific games. And, John, the 2 games that you and I did, they might have looked lopsided on paper, but we had the privilege of watching 2 very good high school offenses performing at their peak in Ithaca and also later on in the nightcap in the Zeeland West Ducks. We look at some of the highlights from Game 1 that we did today, the Division VI final. Terry Smith, the sophomore quarterback, certainly impressed us.
Oh, Travis Smith, he had 300 and some yards total offense, throwing and running. He ran that offense to perfection.
Constantine tried and tried. They just couldn't stop. And when they were trying to come back, Constantine with the ball fumbles it away. Josh Slater grabs it, and he takes it all the way the other way for 6. That was a backbreaker.
It really was. After that, they were done. It was that one was a nail in the coffin.
And then a terrific matchup. As you look at the trophy presentation, Ithaca takes home the Division VI championship in the second game that we did tonight. Brad Messbergen with a 97-yard record-setting kickoff return after the Marine City Mariners had scored early on a 41-yard touchdown pass. That was a huge play because suddenly the Ducks, who might have been the underdog in this game, who knows, but that was a big early point, the two-point conversion to Kyle Kajawa, and they had the lead for good, John.
That set the tempo for the rest of the game.
Running game was a strength. As you said, they stuck with their bread and butter. Even when it didn't look like they would work, it did work for guys like Kajawa, who wouldn't be stopped.
Kajawa to the right, Postma to the left.
Now Clay Coatney, the quarterback, we saw this a number of times tonight. The bootleg, kept it on his hip, two-point conversion, and then he just kept throwing the ball very accurately. Touchdown at the end of the first half was the backbreaker in game 2. And there you see John Shillito accepting that championship trophy, his second with Zeeland West in the last 5 years. Well, this was the day here at Ford Field. Mendon in Division 8, an easy winner over Fowler, 33-0. Tyler Harris with 3 total touchdowns in that game. Brother Rice, Al Fracassa, win number 405. Brother Rice beats Lowell, 2 powers in this state in football, 24-14. Devin Church with 257 total yards and 3 touchdowns. He put all of his talents on display in that game over Lowell. Now we have 4 more games coming up tomorrow. It starts at 10 o'clock, bright and early. Division 7, Pewamo Westphalia against Saginaw Nouvelle. 2 unbeaten teams match up to kick off the day. Detroit Cass Tech, what a terrific story. Division 1, Detroit Catholic Central. John, that is going to be a fun game.
Heavyweight fight right there, Dan.
Division 5, it's Flint Powers against Lansing Catholic. And then we will wrap up 8 games over 2 days. Orchard Lake St. Mary's against Mount Pleasant. John and I will be giving you that game tomorrow night to wrap up 8 games of football action here at Ford Field in the high school championships. Hope you enjoyed our coverage on day 1. We saw some very good offenses, and we should mention some very good defenses in the 2 games that we did tonight. For John Wangler, I'm Dan Dickerson for FoxSportsDetroit.com.